Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about natto and the unconventional way that I prepare it. And natto is a traditional Japanese food made from fermented soybeans. Before we begin, this video is not intended to be any kind of medical advice. Please do your own research before making and consuming natto. Before you make natto, like all fermented foods, they have good funk and bad funk. So I would always try either someone trusted that you know that knows how to make it, or get some commercially purchased natto before you attempt to make this. First thing I do is source out my soybeans that are non-GMO and an organic source, and I soak them overnight. If it's warmer, it usually takes less time, but it can be anywhere from overnight to 24 hours. Because it's warming up here, this was a good long overnight soak. From there, I'll drain and rinse them in a colander that will fit inside my Instant Pot because we're going to pressure cook them. I have the trivet on the bottom to keep my little basket off the bottom. I put about 1.5 cups of water in there, and in my Instant Pot, I will put the lid on sealing and pressure cook it for 42 minutes. And from there, I let it do a natural release. Now, to sanitize everything that I'm going to use, I'm only showing 1 kettle here of boiling water, but I actually do 2 kettles to make sure everything is really covered in boiling water, and I let it sit until my beans are ready. I will move the cooked beans into the pan that I'm going to ferment them in and spread them out a little bit because they need to cool for about 15 minutes. Do not dump out the broth that is in the bottom of the pan. The cooking liquid, you want to reserve about 1/2 cup to maybe a couple tablespoons. This is the inoculant that we will use. And after 15 minutes of things cooling, you can sprinkle just a little bit over your bean broth or the cooking liquid and give it a little stir to dissolve it. And then we're going to sprinkle this over our cooled beans. They don't have to be completely cool, but like I said, they need to rest for about 15 minutes and cool just a little. And then from here, we're going to very gently move them around and make sure all of the beans are covered in the inoculant with the liquid. Now from here, we're going to wrap our container in plastic wrap. And because this is a living bacteria, we need to poke holes in here because there needs to be a little bit of airflow. You want to cover it because you don't want your beans to dry out, but there does need to be some holes poked in there to allow some air to move. This is my little setup that I have that has worked. I've been doing this for a little over a year now, and it seems to work beautifully. I have my little towel that I wrap my container in. Once I wrap it in plastic wrap and poke holes in it, I further insulate it with my little towel. Now I have some loaf pans on the bottom that are turned upside down to keep everything from sitting directly on the bottom. I wanted some airflow. I have a thermometer with a probe. I have a cast iron kettle that I fill with water that I heat up on the stove. And basically between 99 and 113 degrees is what you're looking for. You don't want it to go lower or higher than that, or else it won't properly ferment. For me, the fermentation sweet spot is around 16 hours that I allow this to sit. And it's definitely a labor of love because I have to go back and check on it all throughout the day or the night to make sure my temperature is staying consistent. Now, after 16 hours, when I take everything out, because you don't want to peek on it while it's fermenting, you want to let it be. So at 16 hours, I take it out, and you'll see that the beans kind of have like a white, like a ghosting effect or a white halo effect around them. That way you know that it is properly fermented. From there, I'll peel back 2 corners of my plastic wrap, and I set it in the refrigerator overnight to kind of let it mellow out. That's a good way to phrase it. Either in the description box or in the comments, I'll leave some links as far as the health benefits of natto, and I'll also leave a link to Natto Dad, who has perfected the art of making natto at home. And if you look on YouTube, you'll see a lot of people making it in various different ways. Some make it in their oven, some make it in an Instant Pot. I've tried these. I haven't had luck with them personally, and I have had luck with doing it this way, like I said, for a little over a year now. I've thought about it, and I truly cannot remember where the first time was that I saw natto. It might have been the Emmy Made in Japan video. I'll link it below. But when I saw the health benefits of heart health, gut health, boosting immune system, all of the wonderful things that it does, I was definitely intrigued, and the fact that it's fermented. If you know me, I love all things fermented, so I had to give it a try, and the first place I had ordered some was from NYrture, which I'll link them as well because their natto is delicious. Now, if you look at a lot of these people that have natto on YouTube, they have these little square flat pans of frozen natto that they let thaw. I have access to none of that where I live. I looked high and low, and what did they say? Necessity is the mother of invention. So this is my story of how I ended up making natto, because once I had it, I thought it was delicious. Now, it's definitely an acquired taste. My mother hates it, and it really it's a different flavor. So I recommend that you try it before you get too invested in making it. So if you're feeling adventurous, I hope you give it a shot. I know there are a lot of people that I see from Japan will definitely swear by its health benefits. So check out the description box and see for yourself what you think. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for watching. And as always, bye for now.